Very special guest. This is an old friend of mine. He's really, I would say he's one of the most popular guys in Albany among Democrats and Republicans. I'm going to let Dov introduce him. This is like a surprise guest for our show today.
Yes, it is. In fact, joining us via telephone from Albany is Assemblyman Keith Wright. Assemblyman Wright was recently appointed the co-chair of the New York State Democratic Committee. He was also recently appointed as the chairman of the Housing Committee. He represents Harlem for many, many years, and we're thrilled to have him on the program. Assemblyman Wright, good evening.
Evening. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you this evening.
Hi, Keith. How you doing?
Hey, Dov.
Are you having a good time in Albany?
No, never. What can I tell you?
I was just saying a few minutes ago, we thought everything would be wrapped up by Thursday, real early budget with the holidays coming.
Right.
And things have suddenly really changed. You want to give us your perspective?
Well,
yeah,
my perspective is that, number one, we have a lot of issues that the governor wants to get in his budget, and certainly some of them may not seem all that budgetary to certainly some of the Senate Republicans. And what's going on is that sometimes they agree to things, and then sometimes they say no to it. And I guess when they go back and think about it. So, I mean, this has been, our governor's been really, really good in so many ways. But politics seems to be a business that things don't get settled until the last minute. Fiscally, we are mandated to complete a budget by April 1. We wanted to get it done by March 22 of this year. In that Passover is the onset of Passover is
right
next week. Easter Sunday is March the 31st. And so it would have been difficult to do it next week. However, it seems as if that agreements are being forged right now, agreements that were not in effect yesterday, the day before, and that now we will be, we're told that we're going up to Albany on Thursday and Friday.
Right.
Now, the problem is, usually Albany likes to be tolerant of people's holidays and such. But Thursday is what's known as Holy Thursday and also Good Friday. So hopefully we can get it done in an expedited manner in between those hours.
Absolutely.
that people are not observing.
Yeah. Well, look, that's we got to get it done then. Otherwise, we run into real problems.
Out of time.
Exactly. Right. Keith, let me ask you. Keith and I have been Assemblyman Wright and I have been dear friends for a long time.
20 years at least.
Is it 20 years?
20 years I've been in Albany, sir.
Oh, my God. And did we have that kosher meal in Manhattan? We always talk about.
We did. Place called Mendy's on 34th Street,
exactly.
which I enjoy. Yeah. I've been back since you introduced me to it.
Absolutely. Let me ask you, as the chairman of the Housing Committee, a lot of responsibility, and I want to say that Assemblyman Wright was in our community in Borough Park just recently, meeting with Nachman Kahler, a bunch of people who had real concerns about some housing issues. Some real great challenges for you, Keith.
Oh, no question. Listen, I sat in the offices of Nachman Kahler, attorney at law, along with a brother by the name of Moshe Friedman and yourself, and they, gave me an education. One of the things I want to do is, as the new chair of the Housing Committee, is to meet with all communities to find out what the concerns are, what the interests are, and to be quite honest with you, the interests of Borough Park are the interests of us up in Harlem and all over the city and all over the state of New York. And it's been a pleasure. I love meeting new folks. And
well, you are really. I got to tell you, I said this before. You're one of the most popular guys in Albany among because you have a great sense of humor. You're fun, and you and I have worked together. People in my community who might own property in Harlem.
Yes.
We've come together with people in your community. You and I sitting together, sometimes for over months, trying to resolve issues, and it's just a delight to work with you.
Oh, listen, no question about it. Listen, our communities have many, many interests in common. Listen, Dov, I remember working with you on some of our police, I guess, brutality issues. And
Exactly.
Things,
Exactly.
What concerns your community concerns mine. And certainly as I vote, you vote. And listen, even if we don't always see things eye to eye, we know how to have a difference of opinion without becoming disagreeable. And that's really what it's all about.
The story that I've shared privately with a lot of people, but I'm going to do it publicly now on the radio. You know that story. It sort of binds you and me forever.
Absolutely.
Whether you like it or not, or I like it.
I love it.
Many years ago, we go back a long time ago, when I was active in the Soviet Jewry movement, I had chained myself to the Soviet mission with 10 other people, civil disobedience, fighting for the human rights of, at that time, 3.5 million Jews in the Soviet Union.
Mm-hmm.
We were arrested. In those days, you didn't just get a desk appearance. They wanted to put you through the system.
Mm-hmm.
So I spend my night in jail and the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the part that I'll never forget the rest of my life is that when we appeared in court on this case, we were charged with whatever it was. We had handcuffed ourselves to the mission. The judge that we came in front of at that time was Keith's their father, Judge Bruce Wright, and I'll never forget what he said. He made it real simple. Let me tell you, he knew how to dispense justice, and this is what he said. He said, "In the name of justice, I." Whatever it is, throw out this case, drop this case, and that's exactly what he did. Is that your father describing him, what he was all about?
And your description fits him to an absolute T. Listen, my father held the same standards for all community. Most people just think of him as dispensing some sort of crazy sort of justice just to black and Latino people, but that's not true. He held the same standard throughout with whomever appeared before him. And I appreciate that story so much. I didn't even know the story until, you told me maybe about 10 years ago. I mean, we've certainly been friendly for at least 20 years.
Right.
And it resonates to me. I lost my father about 8 years ago.
Right.
And I miss him dearly each and every day. But certainly, people tell me things every day about my father, how he has affected their lives. And certainly, I love the story. You can tell it over and over and over again as far as I'm concerned.
Anyway, Keith, I'm so happy to have you on, and I look forward to doing this again,
yes.
Talking about housing issues and other issues that you and I have been involved in. And I'll see you back on Thursday, back in Albany.
I'll see you on Thursday, my brother. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, Keith. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
He really is one of, again, is it 20 years? We've been involved in so many things that would surprise a lot of people because, he looks at things very fairly.